you would have said sharp, and you would have guessed that because there was no beating, that it's pure, and a pure perfect fifth is on the order of 2 cents sharp. Does everyone have your quiz sheet?
Yeah.
Very, very difficult quiz coming up. You're all going to remember your oral piano tuning theory. Graham, you've got one. Okay, we'll do the first one together. You're not playing for a chocolate fish. We've got very upmarket ginger fingers instead.
Wow, upgraded.
Okay, here's the introduction. Hopefully, let's see how we can. Okay, remember when you play a note on the piano, you don't just hear one note, you're hearing the note and all of its overtones for the partials as well. We're simulating this in the software. For example, there's a 3. Well, let me do that one. So, I'll put this on 442 just in case anybody pulls out their ETD to check things. But, so since it's not on 440 anyway, we'll just use F. So there's the fundamental at 175.27. The second partial is double that, plus a little bit for inharmonicity, right? Third partial is triple the fundamental, plus a little bit for inharmonicity. So the little number in the parentheses to the right is the cents sharp due to inharmonicity of the tone that's being produced. Right? So the tones that have been produced, if you wish to isolate the so it's the partial strength. So there's your fundamental of just that F, and then we'll add in the partials. So it's just sort of changing the timbre a little bit. So the upshot of all of that is that when you play 2 notes at a time, for example there, you get your interval there, and you can see that that's a perfect fifth. Well, it's not perfect, but the ratio of 3 to 2, and the conflicting partials are listed there. So you've got the third partial of F3, the second partial of C4, and in fact, since that's a perfect fifth, you also have 6/4 partials where they conflict as well, and you get 2 sets of beating if you can hear them. I shouldn't have chosen that one, I should choose this one. Major third. Right? That's a 5/4 interval. The fifth partial of F is approximately 877.7. The fourth partial of A is 884 for a difference of 7 beats per second. Can you hear those?
Yeah.
And then as you adjust the pitch, the beating gets slower. As you widen the interval, the beating gets faster. Okay, so we'll tune the piano. We'll take off the here's exercise 1. So in this exercise, we've just loaded up. So you're given the fact that F and the B flat are in tune. Right? This is an equal temperament with a little bit of stretch. So we're looking at that perfect fourth at 0.8 beats per second. Take that off, and now the question is, we're wanting to tune F4. The question is it sharp or flat or in tune? And you have to judge that from the beat rate. So we'll do this one together. The beat rate is 0. Right? Can't hear any beats. What does that mean? That means you've got a pure perfect fifth. Right? Which of course you can't have in a real piano. So fifths are always narrow of perfect. So that means that if you've got a pure perfect fifth, that F4 is Right? 2 cents sharp.
It's not 2 cents or like.
No, but at A4, 4 cents is
That's
one
right.
beat, so
Yes,
we'd
but-
say half a beat, so we're going to go rough.
Okay, so that's,
I want it exact.
that's the first one, right? So if you've got a pure fifth, you're going to be 2 cents out because you can't have a pure fifth. Right?
So what have we actually got to write in?
So for that one, you would have said sharp, and you would have guessed that because there was no beating, that it's pure, and a pure perfect fifth is on the order of 2 cents sharp. So you would have put in sharp, 2 cents, and you would have done that without seeing the beats per second. I could give you the beats per second there, which is 0 point something wide of a 3-2 interval, which is basically 0, pure. So that's no good. So you would have got that without looking at the beats per second, because you would have heard it, and so you'd get an extra credit point in that next column, and you would have got 5 points for that score. Okay, so you can scratch off one. Here goes number 2. Right.
So you're going to help us out like that for everyone?
X.
Okay, here we go. You're given this interval, and we're going to tune the octave A4. So you're listening to that beat speech. Here we go with the A4. So the question is A4 flat or sharp?
What we're hearing.
No, not that one. That's your test interval. This one. Now you've got that. Now I'm going to show you the beat rates. 7 beats per second, as you're expecting. 5 beats per second. Can you see that? It's right here.
Yep.
About there. 5 beats per second. Right. So given that that's 5, can you calculate what's wrong with A4 and by how much? Should we do them as we go? Yeah, okay, I'll let you write it down and then we'll talk about it. And then if we run out of time, we'll cut it short. Right, so this is known as the 310 rule, where we're measuring the width of the octave and we're testing it at the 4-2 interval. So that's too slow. The third and the 10th are supposed to be, the 10th should be at least as fast as the third. Right? And the faster the 10th is, the wider the octave is. So the fact that that's 7 beats per second too wide, that's at least 2 beats per second that too slow, which means that A4 is flat. By approximately how much? 4.5 cents. So if you're tuning orally and you're 3/10 or that much out, that's how flat it's going to be, which gives you a rather bad octave. Right? There's the octave at several different points. That's how narrow you've made it if you've erred by 7 beats per second versus 2 beats per second, or 5 beats per second.
So the 2 beats per second is equated to 4 cents.
Yep.
Yep.
So each beat per second off
One
of
beat,
7.
one beat at A4 is 4 cents. So,
Great. Number 3. This is this one. Right. So in number 3, you're given this major third, and we're going to test the 6th. We're going to test middle C. Oh, hang on. I'm not going to show you the intervals just yet. Listening. you the beat rates.
No, I've got to calculate. So,
Okay, yep, yep. Yep, without the beat rates.
Can we do this in beats instead of cents? We have to do it in cents. Can we do it in beats?
No. If you're struggling to hear these, you can tick the isolate the beating partials, which just means that when you play the interval together, all the other partials disappear except the conflicting ones, which give you a Hanna organ type thing. And now there's no trouble hearing the beat rates, right? Okay, I'm going to show you the. That's at 6.25. That's at 6.25. So if you want to change your answer, this is known as the 3/6 rule, measuring the width of the fourth. Right? Anyone remember what it should be? The relationship between the third and the sixth? Which one's faster? Six is faster. And in this case, we've got them exactly the same. So if your third and your sixth rate are the same, you got a problem. Alright?
Can we hear the fourth as a pure?
If your third and the sixth are the same, your fourth is
Pure.
pure. So you've got a pure fourth. You can't have a pure fourth because fourths are always supposed to be
Wide.
wide.
0.8.
So if you've got a pure fourth, how wide is it?
0.8.
0.8? That's beats per second. How many cents off is it? 2 cents off. So same as the fifths, right? Okay. So number 4.
You got the beats covered.
Oh, what did I do?
I got them all right.
How did I get out of that? Sorry. The next one is okay. In this case, we're doing consecutive major thirds. We're happy with F and A, and we've already tuned the B flat, and we're happy with that one. And the question is, what is F sharp? I'll show you the beat rates.
A sharp is correct.
Yeah, so you're assuming the F and the A sharp are correct, and the question is, what's wrong with F sharp?
Oh,
Here's the beat rates. Oh, sorry, can I make that a little bigger? 7 beats a second. 6 beats a second. Okay, so we've gone the wrong direction. Right? As you go up the compass, your thirds have to get faster. Right? By half a beat per second per semitone. In this case, we've gone from 7 down a complete 1 to 6, which should translate into F sharp being by 2.5 cents. So if you said 2, you're within 1 cent, and you get an extra bonus point, especially if you picked it.
And what's the score if you get the cents wrong? What's the score?
You just don't get your extra point.
Oh, we got 2.
If you got it whether or not it's sharp or flat, then you get your 3 points.
3.
If you're within 1 cent, you get an extra point. And if you did that without seeing the beat rates, that is, you just did it with hearing the beat rates, then you get an extra one. Shall we do one more? Yes. So this one.
This piece of paper, am I allowed to burn it rather than hand it in? Like right here now.
Okay, this one. The last one was consecutive major thirds. So as you go up the compass, you slowly speed up your beat rates, right?
Yep.
This one is contiguous major thirds, so we're going up an augmented chord. Okay, so we're going to listen to these. We're going to assume that we like this one. Now the question is, and we're going to assume that we like that octave. That we set that octave the way we want it. So
You stretch that. That's stretched.
it is stretched.
Yeah.
Yep. It's stretched to a 4/2
Yeah.
approximately. So the question is, where's the B flat? One more time. And now I'll show you the beat rates. 5.7. 8.5. 8. Okay, if you want to change your answer, we'll talk about it in about now. So the problem with that one is it's too wide. It's beating too fast relative to that one. Especially when you go the other direction, because that one's supposed to be even faster, and that one's slowed down. So you can fix that one being fast, and that one being too slow by moving the B flat down a little bit.
Yeah.
So the answer here is that B flat is sharp
Yeah.
by approximately
Yeah.
2.25 cents. How are we doing on time?
Hey, what's your logic for working out like?
Oh, just going on. It's a fun.
Keep going.
It's
What's
fun.
your logic for working out the
Yeah,
sense?
because I
Like,
didn't
you're
think
doing
about it.
beats.
Yes.
Sorry?
That's looking after you guys.
What's the relationship between beats and the sense? Like I know the time sense, the sense
It depends what partial
Yes.
is in conflict.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how we're supposed to get the gist of it.
I think it's just
Speaking?
it's just the sort of relativeness of it, right? If there's a real big problem, like you'll all know that if you've got a pure fifth, it sounds great, but it's wrong. Right? It's too wide. You can't. So you all know that. So it's just sort of a relative. I mean, if you have a pure third, you know how far out it is, right?
Yeah.
Approximately
And Kevin is right, because when we tune,
13.
especially with oral tune, when we tune, we don't think of sense, we think in beats.
Oh,
Well, you can't.
okay.
Can't be a set.
Yeah, but the beats, of course, changes as you go up and down. So so being out 2 beats a second here and 2 beats a second there is completely different.
Yeah, but we can't hear the
You're much
sense.
farther out. Yeah.
Look,
Okay.
Kevin got someone to call him so he doesn't have to participate here. You see, he's not there yet.
Okay.
You know what's funny, Dan? His phone didn't even ring.
Okay. Now we're getting harder.
Questions right.
This one's a little harder.
Has it got D to D?
For number 6, we've got C sharp. We've got a minor third. Right? And the question is, where's that fifth on top of it? A major third stacked on top of a minor third, giving you a perfect fifth. So we're going to listen to.
Can we go back to piano sound?
Oh, yeah. You mean take off the.
Yeah.
Oh,
Take on the
keep-
camera.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Which one is it? 641. And I'm going to. Okay. So you've got that beat rate, and now this beat rate.
rubbing your hands together. Like a video that knows the answer. Like, watching them.
Is the A sharp English?
Here's the beat rates.
Yeah.
Hang on.
He's tuning that A sharp.
Here's the beat rates.
Tuning the A sharp.
Yep, we're tuning the A sharp. So that's sitting at 8.5 beats a second.
Yeah, it's the same.
That's at 8.5 beats a second. So what's that telling you about your perfect fifth? It's very pure. If your minor third on below a major third is the same rate, you've got a pure fifth, which is going to sound great. Wrong, because it's a pure fifth. Can't have a pure fifth. How wrong is it? 2 cent shot. Okay, that's measuring the fifth at the 6/4 conflicting partial. Right? Okay, we're going to get progressively harder before we've got 2 more. Oh well, one's an extra, one's a bonus because I gave you the first one.
I don't consider that a bonus.
Definition of bonus.
Okay, so number 7. We're given the D sharp and the G. So we say, let me take this out. Listening to that nice major third, we're happy with those 2 notes, okay? We're going to assume that we're happy with those 2 notes, and we're worried about the F sharp. Here's the beat rates. 6 1/4 for the major third.
And 6 1/4 for the
Minor third with the common bottom note.
6 1/4.
6 1/4. So you know that if the major third and the minor third with the common bottom note have the same beat rate, you got something wrong. Right? Because the minor third's supposed to be significantly faster than the major third. Doesn't necessarily mean that the minor third or the major third is wrong. All you know is that the relationship between those 3 notes is wrong. Right? And in the previous examples, it doesn't really matter what that bottom note is tuned to. You're just listening to comparing the speeds. But in this case, changing the bottom note, because that's a wide interval and that's a narrow interval, changing the bottom note changes those intervals in different ways. So here it's the relationship between these 2. But either way, you know there's something wrong here because those 2 speeds are the same. Now, if you're happy with the E flat and the G, and we're just using that to tune this, then that's far too slow, which means that F sharp to D sharp is far too wide because it's a narrow interval, and the width is 4 cents. So that's how far out you are. If that's correct, if those 2 are correct, and you've got the same beat rate here, you're 4 cents out. Which gives you an inverted major fourth because you've gone past the pure. It'll still sound good. It'll sound about right. That fourth will sound about right, but it's in the wrong direction. Okay? So that's that one. One more for fun. And this one's easy. In this case, we've tuned A, and the next question is where's F?
is fast. If F was flat or sharp, so how do we know that F's flat
Oh,
or
okay.
sharp?
Well, okay, I'll tell you in a second.
I mean, something like you can hear it.
I'll show you in a second. I'll show you in a second.
I mean, I know how to prove it on the keyboard. It's saying we only get the 2 notes. Yeah.
Let's, for the moment, assume
It's just default.
that this is wide,
Okay. Yeah, well, there you go. That's
and the question is how wide. Here's the beat rate. Anybody want to take a guess? 8 beats per second. We're looking for 7. We're looking for 7.
Yep.
That's too fast, which means that major third is too wide by approximately 1 beat per second, which translates into 2 cents. 2 cents flat. Right? So, in the other direction, Kevin, there's 8 beats per second wide. I'm just going to move it to 8 beats per second narrow. That's how you know, because it sounds awful.
But that's how I do mine.
Okay. Alright, so if we do 2, 4, 5, 6, 6 plus the extra, so scratch 1, you've got 2 through 7 plus the extra point, that's 6. That's 6, that's 7, so 35 possible? Anybody get 35?
I did
Does
not.
anybody want to tell their score, or do you just want to keep your finger? All right, you got more than 10.
That's more than 20.
Okay. So I'll just put these here, and if you feel you deserve Oh, and by the way, this is at tempertool.com. It's free. Just plug a MIDI keyboard into your laptop and you can play with it all you like.
I missed your original presentation on this, but having seen it actually with you now, it's a good program.
Yeah, his original presentation was in YouTube video, so you can,
Oh,
so you can do that.
Oh, yes. Yeah, but I get it now. I couldn't
Alright, so you finished. Very good. Okay. What time? Alright, he finished it.